Well, today I'm at Vino Simpatico with Dean and Ben, and we're going to talk about wine. These guys are in South Pasadena, and they have a really unique boutique shop here. And why don't you guys elaborate on that a little bit for me?
Well, we like to call ourselves a boutique wine store / tasting room because we pour wine by the glass and we sell it by the bottle. We have a license that allows us to do that. So we do a tasting every Thursday. We have happy hours on Friday and Saturday. We have live music on Fridays. And it's a very unique kind of place because there's very few wine stores you can walk into and say, well, I'm going to buy a couple bottles to take home, but I think I'll have a glass or two while I'm here.
Right.
So we really embrace, our customers in more ways than one. And Ben, who's our general manager here, he's great because all the people love Ben, especially the women. They all love Ben.
Right. Well, he's got, unlike me, he's got a full head of hair. He's got a good smile. What's not to love, right?
And he's always here on the Thursday night tastings. I'm here a lot of the times, but not all the times. And Ben is like the face of Vino Simpatico. He's like here, as he says to people, I'm always here.
Right.
And but he's passionate about it. I'm passionate about it because we're here because we love wine. And
right.
And we do our tasting so people come in and taste the wines, and we hope that they like the wines and buy them. But not everybody's going to like every wine. And so, I always tell people, they'll say well, gosh, I really didn't like that one. And I'll tell them, you know what? You might like that one, and the next person might hate it. And then you might hate the next one, and the next person might love it. So that's the great thing about wine. It's like people. Everyone's different. And there's so many different wines, and people have different palates. So it's really a lot of fun for us. And we do special events, both on-site and off-site. Ben's kind of the off-site guy. He takes the show on the road sometimes, and we've done charity fundraisers. We do wine dinners. Matter of fact, we got one coming up real soon, don't we, Ben?
Yeah, we do. Actually, on the 16th of June, we've got an Italian wine dinner going on, which should be really cool. We've worked with this chef before, but she is a very recently out of Italy, speaks broken English. I mean, the food is unbelievable. Not like Italian food you're used to when you go out to eat. Really around here for the most part.
It's not like Carrabba's.
No,
right. It's like fresh ingredients.
All fresh ingredients, but all made traditional ways.
Special flour, all sorts of stuff.
Right. This is a lady who even at her own home won't buy pasta ever. Right. Has to make it fresh because it's sacrilegious to make it or buy it. Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we have an Italian wine dinner being prepared by an Italian chef who's from Italy, and then we pair it with Italian wines. And the good part about that is people get to pair wines with the food and go wow, that really goes well. Not necessarily things that they would think to do, but we sit down with the chef and with a wine distributor, and we carefully try to match those wines with the food so it makes a good marriage, so to speak. And that's, those are things that we do that I don't know any other wine store that does the things that we do. We do so many different things, and we have so much flexibility. For example, birthday parties. We've had a few birthday parties here.
And what
else? We've had some other events too, haven't we, Ben?
Yeah, we do a lot of I think Dean mentioned earlier, charity events.
Okay.
Honestly, we've probably done a good 50 charity events since I took over managing the store about 10 months ago. Which is a pretty big number for 10 months, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we definitely like to help out charities. We're a big support of that. And it's just fun, right? People could come in. It usually works out where we cater some of it too. So we really help you out on that, right? Again, being hands-on, we're able to manipulate a lot of things that other businesses aren't, right?
Right.
Well, we'll have a wine tasting for a charity, and the charity will collect, say, $10 at the door. And then they'll come in and taste wines, and the people will, come in and they'll have a good time, and they'll do a raffle with some items and a 50-50. So the charity's raising money. Everyone's having fun. We're getting exposed to potentially new customers. So it's a win-win situation. We're giving back, and at the same time, we're getting exposed to more people, which is really what we want. We want to scream out and say, hey guys, we're here, come see us.
Right.
Because we're not necessarily, on the main drag where we have a big sign and you're going to see us, and so we want to get people in here, and then once they come in, they come back, don't they?
Right. Well, yeah, that's actually the coolest thing. Is also one of the worst things, but from the street, you just never know what it's like on the inside.
Right.
On the inside, most people once they come in are like, wow, if only I knew this was here for that much longer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. You go through the looking glass and like, wow, look what's inside.
Right.
And it's really neat because like we have a couch in the back and some chairs, and it's kind of like a living room. And people, not only do we sell wine by the glass, if people want to buy a bottle, they can take it back there in the quote living room, and we open it for them. We charge $5 to open the bottle, and they're paying retail prices for the bottle. For example, there's a wine that might wholesale for say $10. A restaurant's going to sell it for $40. We're going to sell it for like $15, and then charge $5 to open it, so you can have a restaurant experience for half the money.
Right.
And
That's
you
cool.
feel good about it.
I think what's really cool, like you guys had mentioned, these dinners, and like, again, kind of going back to, you go to a restaurant. I've gone to some restaurants where they do the wine pairings and stuff, but then you never, like, you don't remember any of that stuff or what it was with. That's kind of cool that you guys do that. Then you could buy those wines that were paired with the dinner and kind of rip off that to do like for a more intimate thing at your own home or something. So it's like cool to have people like, man, like my aunt up in Missouri would really enjoy this. The next time she comes for Christmas, I'm gonna kind of emulate this type of thing, buy the wine from you guys and have her own little party and buy this unique wine. I think that's really neat.
And when we do the dinners, we give them a menu, and we'll have the course on the menu, and then we'll have the wine that it's paired with, so they can take that home and say, 6 months later, they go, gosh, that Italian wine dinner was great. What wine did we have with what course? And they can, if they save the little like menu that we put out, they can go back and look at it and go, oh yeah, that was it. And
Right.
maybe they want to experiment at home and be their own chef and make something. And now they have something to refer to where they can go back and go, like, yeah, that mushroom gnocchi was great with the Montepulciano or whatever it might be.
Right.
So it's really it's fun in that regard for us, and it's somewhat educational. And what we love is our customers. We get to know them, they get to know us, and like Ben said, it's like family. It's like you're coming to somebody's house, and it's like a wine store tasting room version of Cheers in a way, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
That's so
that's
cool.
what we strive for the most is customer service. I mean, that to me is like one of the most important things any business period can do. So like, why not uphold that to the highest standard?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I strive for.
And Ben's great at it. I mean, he makes you feel so welcome. I mean, somebody may walk in here and for the first time and they don't know Ben and he doesn't know them. When they walk out, they're friends.
Right.
Which is really great because, where do you go where that happens? I mean,
Right.
you walk into a big wine store and you're lucky if you can find somebody to help you. They walk in the door, we say, welcome, how are you? What can we do for you? Let us know. And I've got customers that'll call me on the phone when I'm not even here and say, hey, can you put a case of wine together for me? And I'll put it together and they'll come pick it up. And they totally trust my judgment and Ben's judgment in what we put together. And I can tell you that every time I do that, they come back and go, can you do that again? That was great.
Right.
And that's so much fun for us because,
Yeah.
we're here because we love wine. We're very passionate about it. And we want people that come in to love wine as well. So we want them to have a good experience. We want them to buy and taste great wines. And we want them to come back and they, we want them to have fun. We had a Lightning watch party here, and people were rooting for the Lightning. Unfortunately, we've got
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but we hung in there pretty good.
Right.
And,
Hey, we were supporting them.
Right.
We've done Kentucky Derby parties with wearing the hats. The women bring the fancy hats.
So we've done like college football parties also, all kinds of sport events.
Because we have a big TV, and we're not a sports bar by any means, but we've done watch
There's like a
parties.
main kind of thing that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We've done watch parties, we've done birthday parties, we've done corporate events, private events. One night we had a after rehearsal dinner for a wedding party, and we had about 50 people in here, and they didn't have to rent the facility. They just came in, gave me a budget, selected some wines, we put wristbands on them, and we had live music. It was a Friday night, so they had like one of the best parties they ever had. They had
Right.
live music. There were other people here interacting with them. They had their group, and that was a great night because supposedly on Friday and Saturday nights we close at 10. But if people are here and they're having a great time, we stay.
Right.
I mean, we're not ever going to kick anybody out.
Right.
If it's 10 o'clock and people are here having a good time, we'll stay till 11 or
Right.
12. or
Right.
sometimes 1.
Yeah.
Right, right,
I
right.
mean, legally, we can stay open until 3. We try not
Right,
to.
right. That's a little, yeah, yeah.
Because we got to come back the next morning.
Right. Do it again, yeah.
But I know Ben's had some late nights here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talk a little bit about the live music, because I'm always looking for a place to go with live music. Tell us like what you guys do, how you set that up, and a little bit more about that.
So yeah, we have we try to stick with artists because our space isn't huge, right? So we don't want like full bands, but we try to stick to like mostly acoustic stuff. We do have a couple like DJ type people that come in, and when I say that, they're it's still more like an every crowd kind of DJ. Right.
It's not like the heavy club mix.
Right. Yeah. You're not.
Right,
yeah.
right,
Exactly.
right.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to go out there and boom, 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 boom.
Right.
It's like, top 40, he'll do like some Frank Sinatra. And the gentleman that is, one of our main DJs, so to speak, he plays the music, but he also sings with the music.
Okay,
and he has
cool.
a microphone. So he plays popular music that people would like from all genres and all age groups. And speaking of age groups, we have people that come in here that are 21 to 80.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's like you don't have to feel out of place here. I mean, everybody's welcome, no matter what age group, as long as you're legally old.
As long as you're 21, yeah.
You're good. And we try to support like local singer and songwriters. I mean, we've got a couple people that are actually local singers and songwriters and have actually produced, CDs and have recorded and travel. One of our singer-songwriters, she was out in California. She cut a CD up in Nashville, and we get them to come in here, and they set up in the front of the store, and it's really great and unique. And we put an email and our website, who's playing, and we get some people that come in specifically to see those people play because they're good. I mean, matter of fact, Ben had somebody audition for him last night,
Yeah.
a potential local,
Nice.
singer. An acoustic guitar player.
Well, then that's the other thing is like, we don't necessarily limit it to just people that are like known or something in the area. Like honestly, like that's the cool thing about it is like we may expose you to somebody you didn't even know and expose them to
A whole
people.
nother demographic.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, a whole nother demographic, and also like get their name out there, right?
Right.
Which is kind of cool. So we're almost like a spot to find new artists.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we were kind of like the Discovery place.
Right, exactly.
Maybe one of our people got discovered and we say, hey, we knew them back when.
Right,
we
right.
helped
Playing our little
facilitate
wine
it.
shop, and now
Yeah.
they're now they're on TV or they're
Right.
doing a concert somewhere in a stadium.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's
Right.
just so much fun because that's the main thing is we want people to come in here, and yes, we want them to buy wine, and we want them to buy it by the glass. We want them to buy bottles and cases to take home. But the most important thing is we want them to have a good experience. We want them to have a great experience. We want them to come in here and have fun. We want them to walk through that door and have a big smile on their face because they know they've left all their stress behind and they can come in here and relax. And Ben, like I said, makes them feel at home.
Right.
Always.
Well, I was telling Ben, I showed him some pictures before we started this. Actually, when I was out here a couple weeks ago. So some of the homes we've been doing, we've been putting these walk-in wine cellars. So I'm trying to help you guys, man. People have this walk-in wine cellar. They need to fill
Right,
this thing
yeah.
up. So why don't you guys talk about like your specific favorite regions or wines? Why don't each one of you guys kind of give me
Okay.
personal stuff
I'll
there on
jump in
that?
first because I was just in Italy not too long ago, and I went to a wine food festival called Vin Italy, and it was amazing. It was huge. It was one of the biggest wine events in the world. It was in Verona, Italy, and it was 4 days. And I always liked Italian wines and Spanish wines and French wines, but when I came back from Italy, I was a big fan of Italian wines. I mean, there's so many different Italian wines and so many different grapes. And what I love about the Italian wines is they go great with food. Now, other people have other palates and they like different kinds of wine. For example, Ben's dad is a California cab guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's about the extent of his palate.
Right. Right.
He loves the big California cabs, but Ben, he's got a great palate, and we taste wines we have wines in here from all over the world, and we taste them, and people look at me, I'm kind of like the old world guy, maybe because I'm old, and maybe Ben's the new world guy because he's younger than me, but I mean, we got some great new world wines, don't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, we have our selection on wine is just unbelievable. But honestly, we have pretty similar palates, which is cool. But a hard question for me personally, just because I get asked this a lot. Like I said,
what do you like?
and we like and usually it's what do you dislike that people
Right.
ask me, right?
Well, what's your favorite? What's like your favorite thing to eat, and what would be the favorite wine with it?
Well, I love cheese. I mean, I'm an absolute cheese lover. So pairing wine with cheese to me, any day of the week, any time of the day,
Right. That's where you're
good
at.
combination. Yeah, but for me, it's a feel thing, right? I mean, I come in one day and I might be wanting to drink white wine, and that's really all I want to drink that day. Come in another day and it'd be red wine. For the most part, though, I tend to lean more old world. I like them a little earthy and like almost when you open them, most people think it's like foul smelling, and then you smell the soil and like the decomposing matter.
Right.
That draws me in
Right.
even more. But
We call them barnyard.
yeah,
nose.
barnyard, right?
Barnyard
Exactly.
nose. Okay.
But even then, like, I still like the other styles. I still like them a little fresher, a little younger, right? And like the California style, big and bold and tannic. So,
and-
I like them all.
I tell you, one of the wines we've been selling like crazy is rosés. I mean, we have probably a dozen different rosés, and in Florida, this time of year with the heat, rosé is great because you get it cold. It's not a white wine, it's not a red wine, it's kind of in between, but it's a lot of the rosés are made from red wines. Like we have a rosé that's made from Malbec. We have a rosé that's made from Merlot. We have rosés made from Sangiovese. And, these different grapes, they pull the skins, and the wine is a lighter color, and they're dry. People think, oh, rosé, it's sweet. It's like, no. Like, a lot of guys like, oh, rosé, I'm not going to drink that. I love rosés. I drink rosé all the time because it's such a great
It's like refreshing,
Yeah,
kind
It's
of.
refreshing. It's cool. It goes with almost any food you can think of.
Right.
And like in the sparkling wines. My gosh, we have a whole bunch of sparkling wines, and I kind of lean towards the proseccos because I was in Italy. But we have wines, from Champagne, France, and we have sparkling wines from Spain. They're called cavas, and of course our Italian sparklers are usually proseccos. And Ben's really good at selling those proseccos to the ladies.
Right. That's what they like. That's what they
Yeah, they
want.
definitely. We sell a lot of prosecco,
Right.
but we also, again, prosecco is weird because you go to most places and it's like the standard selection of prosecco. Period, right? So everybody's so used to this monotony, if you will, and we get to kind of introduce them to all these like different proseccos that they just
And they're not sweet.
have no idea.
A lot of people think, oh, prosecco is sweet.
Again, yeah,
There's extra dry. There's brut.
Right.
I mean, we have prosecco that you would taste and think like, my gosh, this is a champagne.
Right.
But technically, it's not a champagne. It's a prosecco, but it's a sparkling wine. And we sell a lot of sparkling wines, a lot of rosés, and we have our red wine drinkers. We have people that just love the big Zinfandels from California, and then we have one customer that. He only goes to the section where there's the French wine, the Spanish, and the Italian. He doesn't even look anywhere else. He's like zooms right in
Right.
to those wines, and we try to have wine for everybody's palate.
Right.
Yeah, well, and then that's probably one of the best things that we do is, and that's why it's such a hard question. What's like our favorite wine? Because we really try to drink with an open palate.
Right.
It's kind of
Right.
like asking you which is your favorite child. It's like
Yeah. Don't get me in trouble with my wife.
we love all the wines.
What would you recommend? So I like a white fish, like a snapper, and we're here on the beach, so like that's pretty popular in restaurants. What would you and like give me a red wine to go with a snapper?
Red wine to go with a snapper? I'd probably steer you to a rosé, and if you really want a red wine, I would steer you to like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Exact same thing. I mean, first thing that came to my mind, rosé, whitefish rosé. But if you have to go red, which we have people that do that all the time, right? They have to drink red.
Right.
Definitely a Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Something lighter, and not too dry, not too tannic.
Right, and also it depends on how the fish is prepared. For example, if it's blackened, you may want a different wine than if you just sauteed it in some olive oil and butter.
Right.
So depending on how you make the fish, people think like, oh, fish has got to be white wine.
Right.
Not necessarily. Depends
Right.
on how you make it. I've had some fish with some Cabernets, and people are like, are you kidding me? It's like, no, but it was pecan crusted grouper.
Right.
It worked good with
So
the
it's a
Cabernet.
little heavier coating on the
Sure.
fish, and
Right,
maybe
exactly.
some mashed potatoes on the side or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we had a little pasta.
Pasta.
But
a little
there-
pasta.
the way we look at it is like we try to bring people past the old cliches of white with fish and red with me. It's like because I've had Chardonnay with roast beef,
Right.
and it goes great.
Right.
I mean, we try to get out of these stereotypes and try things. And then
Right.
like when you said, like, what do we like? It's like our customers will ask us all the time, well, not only what's your favorite wine, but what do you like? And what I ask them is, what do you like?
Right.
It doesn't matter what I like.
Right.
It's more important to get what you like.
Yeah.
Because, I want somebody to buy a wine and I want them to love it. And I may love it and they may not. Or there may be something that they love that's not my cup of tea or not my style, but we try to, placate everybody.
Right.
And we try to have wines for every palate.
Yeah.
Which is tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, it's so funny because when we do our tasting and somebody will go like, oh, I really don't like that wine. And the next person will go, I love that wine.
Right.
And it's so funny. And then they'll ask us, it's like, what wine's good? And we're like, they're all good.
Right.
We
Yeah.
wouldn't have bought them if they weren't.
Right.
We wouldn't have brought them in here if they weren't bad. They said,
Right.
what's good? I said, look around. Every bottle on the shelf's good.
Right.
And every bottle we pour in the tasting's good. They may not like it,
Right.
but it's good. And,
Right.
and inevitably, somebody does.
Right.
I've never done a taste. I don't think you have either, Ben, where somebody went through and said, I didn't like any of the wines.
Right.
Quite the contrary. Most of the time, they say they like all the wines.
Right.
There's maybe one or two they didn't care for.
Right.
But somebody does. And there's so many different palates. That's why there's so many different wines.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, I would say that I have a day job, then I also do this. I'm one of the owners, and Ben's our manager. There's three of us that own the store. He's the manager. He's here all the time. But I have my day job. Then I come in here in the evenings, and I'm here sometimes on weekends. But when I come here, it really doesn't seem like work.
Right.
I mean, it is work, but it's also a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And if you like wine and you like people, this is where you want to be.
Right.
Right there at Vino Simpatico.
Cool. So give us the address for the place here.
Yeah, it's 722 South Pasadena Avenue, South Pasadena, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's a good way to reach you guys? We got a website? What's the...
Yeah, I mean, you can reach us through Facebook, our website, Instagram, Twitter. Any of those streams work. You can call the store directly. You can call my cell.
Cool.
We have our cell phone numbers on our business cards.
Yeah.
We give somebody a business card and say, look, my cell phone number's on there. And that's like, I got a call on a Sunday afternoon around Christmas time. And one of my customers said, hey, I want to get a couple cases of wine. What do you have in mind? And, I want to get some really good stuff. And my boyfriend's coming in from Chicago. And I said, well, tell you what, meet me up at the store on Tuesday, because we're open Tuesday through Saturday. We're closed Sunday, Monday. We got to give Ben a break once in a while.
Right.
And so I met her here, and we tasted some wines, and she bought 2 cases of wine. I mean, really good wine. But the thing that we did that's different than other places is she came in and we tasted the wines.
Right.
And before she bought, she knew exactly what she was getting.
Right.
And then when she bought the wine and had it with her boyfriend, about a month later they came back and bought another case because they loved it so much. And,
Nice.
and that's what really makes me happy is when we pick out a wine for somebody and they buy a case of it and then they come back and go, give me another case.
Right. Well, that and we try to stress a lot. We give you our card. We have our personal numbers on there so you can off hours, doesn't matter. Give us a text if you have a wine at dinner or something and you don't know if we have it. Give us a text, shoot us a picture of it.
Take a picture of it.
We'll let
Right.
you know if one we can get it, which most likely we can, right? If it's somewhere else.
Yeah.
And two, if not, we can recommend something to you that's
really
going to be
similar.
similar, right?
Yeah.
So how many stores that would do that for people, right?
Right.
That
I don't know, man.
text us what you want.
Right.
I don't know any store where you can be at dinner and text somebody at the store and they're going to say, yeah, I can get you that wine.
Right,
Or,
right.
or ask a question. I've had people call me from restaurants and go, I'm going to have, lamb. What do you recommend with lamb?
Yeah,
right.
Merlot, Bordeaux.
Right.
But the thing that's really neat is that when people come in here, they feel, I've said this before, but they feel like they belong. They feel like they're part of something. We have our wine clubs, but you don't have to be in the club to belong. If you're in the club, though, you get some benefits, which is kind of nice. Because our tastings are $10. You get those for free. You get 10% off a bottle one. Most places you buy a case, you get 10% off. If you're in the wine club, you buy one bottle, you get 10% off. Which, we're very accommodating and we're flexible. And, we want people, like I said, to have fun and enjoy. Wine should be fun. It shouldn't be intimidating.
Right.
Nobody should go, oh my God, I don't know what wine to buy. It's like, they shouldn't do that.
Right.
And we don't let them do that. And like Ben said, if you have wine at a restaurant or you have wine or you buy wine somewhere, if that wine is distributed in the state of Florida, we can get it. We may not have all the wines because there's about 7,000 different wines that are distributed in the state of Florida, but if it's sold in the state of Florida, we can get it. And sometimes people come in and they bring a picture and say, can you get this wine? And I'll check on it. So I can, and this is the price. And they'll be like, and a lot of times we beat the price of other people. Like one gentleman had a wine up in Georgia, and he said, "Can you get this?" And I said, "Sure." How much you paid for it? And he was paying like $15 for it. And I said, "I can get it to you for 13." And he was thrilled. He's bought about 7 cases of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, so
Yeah.
he loves it, and that's.
And will you guys will ship it to like other? Can you do that, or what's it? Or you got to bring it home with you?
Yeah, it's shipping. That's a whole.
That's a
nother-
whole nother
Yeah, I mean,
trick.
yeah, we'll sell it to you. You can ship it to yourself.
There you go.
But
That makes
you know,
sense.
technically, yeah, we
We'll
can't.
sell you a case of wine. You can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, you get into liquor laws, I guess, all those specifics.
Yeah, you know, once you mention alcohol, even though it's wine, it's got alcohol in it.
Right.
There's a lot of laws and regulations that govern what we do and, you know, what you can do as a retailer. And there's laws for distributors and producers and importers, and there's a whole bunch of statutes that deal with it. But
Right.
you know, for us as a retailer, you know, you buy a case of wine and a lot of people will take it with them. Like
Right.
the gentleman who is in Georgia, he's going to pick up a case of wine today because he's heading up to the mountains for the summer. And he goes, "Can you get me a case of this wine?" And I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Can you get it before June 5th?" And I said, "Sure. Why?" He goes, "Because I'm heading up to the mountains." So he'll, you know, they sell wine in Georgia, but he's taking wine from here,
Right.
up there, because
He knows he can get it.
he knows he can get it. He
Yeah.
knows it's good. He's tasted it,
Right.
and he loves it. And,
Cool.
and that's the thing that is, like I said, unique about us. You don't have to buy a wine blind. You can come in and taste it.
Right.
That'll taste you on almost anything.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and if you get a chance to like check out our social media and stuff, you will find like all of our events, like the details on them and stuff on there, like links to RSVP to them and whatnot. Because we do have quite a few events. Like we do
painting.
wine and yoga. Yeah, we do glass painting, and we actually do like wine and yoga. All of our events are pretty much on site.
Okay.
So it's really cool. Once you see the space, like you kind of see how we manipulate it to do all these different events. But yeah, we have had great turnouts for wine and yoga events. We do wine glass painting, like different crafts, essentially with a lot of the stuff we have around, like wine bottles, wine bags, you know, corks, like all this kind of cool stuff. And we in the dinners. I mean, we do
Yeah,
at
the
least
dinners,
one
sure.
dinner every month, and they're usually pretty spectacular, if I can say.
Cool.
I've never heard any complaints.
Yeah.
You know,
Awesome.
so you put that all in one, and maybe I'm a little biased, but I'd say we have a very unique, one of a kind kind of concept in place, and we want everybody to come out and enjoy it and experience it.
Great.
So come on out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to me. I learned a lot about wine today
Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you, Chad.
Thanks
Thanks,
for having
guys.
us, Chad.